Alright, so I was asked about my time in Burlington, Vermont. It's in early '98. I went up there. I had a few friends, two friends that were a couple, and a dude that was friends with me from being from here in Bristol, Connecticut. And so I kept in touch with them, and they were like, yeah, come out here. So I went up there, and like I said, it's a few days after March. It was like March 3rd or something. And I'm from Connecticut, so it's pretty brutal here for winters, but that's like, depending on where you're going, like less than an hour north from Canada. So even though it was March, so it was technically less than one full month of winter, it was really fucking rough. So anyway, I went up there, and I went to the dude's house and was like, hey, what's up, I'm here. So he's like, oh, let's go to these people's house, the couple. And I went there, and when the dude answered the door, I could see on his face there was something that was not right. But I was like, okay, I don't know what's going on. But so anyway, the couple, I guess, were having like a serious fight. It was like a big deal, and they each said later that they were glad that, someone came over to interrupt that, because I guess it was really nasty. So anyway, they were like, yeah, TZ's here, let's party, TZ's here. So we were drinking and smoking, as was what we did back in our ute, and but like the girl, she it was their apartment, but they were on the 3rd floor of a house, so it was like a 3-family unit. So but she like fell down 3 flights of stairs, and it was kind of crazy. And then later everyone was like, hey, maybe you should stop walking around. She's like, no, I'm fine. And then, like, the boyfriend and her again got into a fight, nasty, and she was, like, strangling him. She was, like, trying to kill him. And then even the guy was like, what are you doing? Like, do you understand? You're like, trying to kill me right now. You really want to kill me right now? And she finally came to her senses, and then, I don't remember, we all blacked out, I guess, went to sleep. So in the morning, she broke her ankle, and it was like insane. She like tried to murder her boyfriend. And so it spent like the whole next day, like 10 hours in the hospital. And she ended up telling the landlord it was because this broken bottom step on their stairs that he was supposed to fix, but she neglected to say that she was shit-faced drunk, and like right after that tried to murder her boyfriend. So it really had nothing to do with that it was broken. But so anyway, I guess he paid for that. But it was kind of nuts. And then like the dude the other friend, he worked 3rd shift at like the YMCA. And so, but it was kind of really rough, and I was like, hey, I'll go hang out in the freezing cold. Again, it was like March, but up in Burlington, Vermont, it was probably like 20 degrees, maybe 25, but it was like freezing cold. But I was like, yeah, I don't know, like, the girl tried to kill her boyfriend, and like, it's kind of, I don't know if I should really stay here. So I went to hang out and wait till the dude got to work, 3rd shift. It was until like 6 in the morning, so it's probably like midnight, so like 6 hours to kill. I went down to Lake Champlain, and I was like freezing cold, and I was hanging out on like a brick, like the concrete block right near the water, and from Bristol, Connecticut, used to everything being illegal, so like I'm sure I would have been arrested for that, just sleeping near the water. But so I guess I sort of fell asleep, and the cop came down, and he was like, hey, and I like woke up. I was like, oh shit, and I was still in the water when he just woke me up, because I was laying like on a brick right near the water, and like block, and I was like, oh shit, yeah, I'm okay. He's like, alright, making sure, and he left, and I was like, wow, I totally would have been like arrested for that. So then I like woke up, so it was probably like 4 then, so I had 2 hours to go. So I just sat there waiting for him to get back, and he's like, what the hell's going on? And I was like, yeah, I don't really want to stay there anymore. So can I stay here? And it was in an efficiency apartment, which was, it wasn't 1 bedroom, it was 1 room. And he worked 3rd shift, so I was like, yeah, like, why don't I stay here, and then, like, I'll sleep at night and you'll be at work. Then we come from work, like, I'll be up, and then I eventually got a job. It took a long time to get a job, and I had mentioned this to a friend recently, well, a few years ago, because I was trying to get this job, and I was calling from the classifieds number, and they were like, have you ever been arrested with a felony? And I hadn't at the time. So, but I was like, I just want to see what happened. It was like, 1, no, and press 2 if you haven't. So I just pressed 2, I was just curious. And it was like, thank you for your interest in our company. Click. They like hung up, so I was like, oh shit. So, but I brought that up recently because the president, Donald Dumps, actually has been arrested with a felony. So, I was applying for a job cleaning college rooms, and because I was arrested, I wasn't, but I said I was arrested with a felony, I was not allowed to apply for that job, but the guy applying for president was allowed to apply and was elected, so that was okay. So, it's kind of crazy, but anyway, that's another thing. So, but I also wanted to mention, so that was in March I went up there. It's probably April or May. It was probably still April. Actually, another show before the show I was about to mention. So it was serious winter. There was like 60 inches of snow everywhere, and I went to go see. There's a local death metal band. They were using the name Army of Darkness. They were really cool guys. They're like a grindcore band more than death metal. There's like 7 of them. They had 2 singers, 1 guy that was more low end and 1 guy that was more high, like so they had that going. So I'd see them play at a local club. It was called Toast, and I used to always make a joke that the club Toast burnt down, so there was burnt toast. But anyways, before that, so I went to go see them, and I was drinking a 40 Bull Ice, and I had like half of it, and I was about to go in, so I was like, well, there's snowbanks everywhere, so I just like pushed the 40 in there, covered by snow. Went to see the band that I wanted to see, Army of Darkness. Then I came out, but there was like a line across the front, and I was like, well, I want to grab the second half of my 40, but I don't really want to do it in front of all these people. So I hung out for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and I was like, whatever, I'm just going to do it. So I was trying to find it, and I finally pulled it out of the snow. All of these people were pointing at me and laughing because I pulled the 40 out of a snowbank. So there was that, and then I went home that night, and the door to the apartment was frozen shut. So it was unlocked. I had a key at this point, so it was unlocked, but it was frozen. And it was frozen overnight, and then during the day it swelled, and then it froze again. So I was like pulling it open, and I jumped up, put my 2 feet on the wall, so like, and it wouldn't budge. And there was a guy next door that his car was blocked in because of snow. So I was like, hey, I'll help you do that. If you come up here, he's like, no, don't talk to me, get the hell away from me. So I was like, oh, well, that's not going to work. And man, I had to piss really bad too, so I pissed all this all over the door. And I was hoping that would loosen, make it easier to open, but that didn't work either. But, so anyway, so yeah, it was later than that, but I think it was still pretty cold. And the Cramps played, and so we went at Toast before Club Toast burnt down, before Burnt Toast, and it was really cool. It's funny because I know people even from Ohio, where Locks was from, and never seen him and older than me. But I talked to a bunch of people like, "Wow, you saw the Cramps?" And I was like, "I don't really think it was that big of a deal." But the Big Beat from Badsville, that was when that was their new record at the time. But and then there was like some spazzy kid that kept like bumping into me and like elbowing me in the eye and was getting on my nerves. So I just went to like grab him and throw him out of my way. But he was like a little bitch, and he was like grabbing my sleeves, and he was like, don't touch me. And I was like, alright, just stop attacking me like a 13-year-old. Just shut up and stop elbowing me in the eye and just turn around. So that's what happened then. And I don't know, where are we now? 11 minutes in. Alright, so we're going to end this right now. We'll come back some other time. That's Creep Thoughts, Tales from early 1998 in Burlington, Vermont.